Once upon a time, in a peaceful African village, there were two young women, Adora and Chizoba. They grew up together as best friends. They did everything together, playing as children, learning the ways of womanhood, and sharing their deepest secrets. Their friendship was admired by many, especially their peers. They were like sisters, always sharing days to assist each other with farm work and house chores. But deep down inside Chizoba's heart, a dangerous seed of jealousy had been planted, and with time, it grew into something dark and deadly. Adora was a kind and beautiful young woman with a good heart. She sincerely loved her best friend and always wished they were sisters. She was well loved by all because of her gentle nature and generosity. She was also betrothed to Obinna, the most handsome and wealthy young man in their community. Obinna was a hardworking man, full of wisdom, and he adored Adora with all his heart. Their love story was one that everyone admired. Chizoba, on the other hand, was also beautiful, but she lacked the kindness that made Adora special, though she pretended to love her best friend. But jealousy burned in her heart. She wanted everything Adora had: her beauty, her good fortune, and most of all, Obinna. But Obinna never noticed Chizoba in that way. His love and attention was only for Adora. As Adora's wedding day drew closer, Chizoba's jealousy turned into bitterness. She couldn't stand to see Adora happy with Obinna. She convinced herself that she deserved Obinna more than Adora did. That was when she made the evil decision. She would take Adora out of the picture. That is the only way she can get Obinna. On the day of Adora's wedding, the entire village celebrated with great joy. The wedding ceremony was beautiful, with dancing, music, and a lot to eat and drink. Adora looked extremely beautiful in her bridal attire, and Obinna couldn't take his eyes off her. Chizoba stood beside her, smiling, but behind that smile was an evil plan waiting to unfold. That night, after the wedding ceremony, Adora prepared to meet her husband in their new home. Chizoba, pretending to be a caring friend, offered to help her get ready. "My dear Adora, the most gorgeous bride I have ever seen. You are beautiful and blessed, my sister," Chizoba said, forcing a smile. "Before you go to your darling husband's house, drink this special drink I made just for you. It will help you relax and sleep well tonight." Adora smiled warmly. You will never change. Trusting her best friend, she accepted the drink without hesitation. She took a few sips and began to feel weak. Her body felt heavy. Panic filled her eyes as she tried to speak, but no words came out. She tried to reach out to her best friend, but she moved away. Tears dropped from her eyes as she fell down slowly. Chizoba watched with satisfaction as Adora fell on the bed, her breathing becoming weaker and weaker. Within few minutes, Adora was lying lifeless on the bed. Chizoba quietly left the room, believing that no one had noticed her evil deed. The next morning, the household was filled with tears of sorrow. The new bride was dead, and no one could understand how such a tragedy had happened. The entire town mourned Adora's sudden death, believing it to be a terrible misfortune. Obinna was heartbroken. He refused to eat or sleep, spending days in sorrow, unable to accept that his beloved wife was gone. Chizoba, pretending to grieve, stayed close to him. She comforted him, shedding fake tears and pretending to share in his pain. Months passed, and people in the town began to gossip among themselves. Some said that Adora's death was the will of the gods, while others believed it was a curse. But as time went on, some people began to notice how close Chizoba had become to Obinna. She was always by his side, caring for him and acting like a wife. Slowly, Chizoba started planting thoughts in Obinna's mind. She would say things like, "Obinna, please stop doing this to yourself. You haven't been eating well. Please eat something. I'm very sure Adora would have wanted you to be happy. And you need someone to care for you." After a long period of sadness, Obinna, still broken by grief, finally agreed to marry Chizoba. Chizoba thought she had won. She was now the wife of the man she had always desired. She lived in luxury, wearing the finest clothes, eating the best meals, and enjoying the respect that came with being Mrs. Obinna, the most richest and respected young man in the whole village. She convinced herself that she had done the right thing by sending Adora out of this world. She believes Adora was blocking her from achieving a lot of good things. "Her friendship has brought me nothing but pain and frustration. Thanks to the gods who gave me wisdom to take the best decision by getting rid of my worst enemy." Chizoba kept justifying her evil act without knowing that fate has its own plans. 10 years of marriage, Chizoba remained childless. No matter what she did, she could not conceive. She tried everything: herbal medicines, prayers, and sacrifices, but her womb remained empty. In their land, children were seen as blessing, and a woman's respect depended greatly on her ability to bear children. At first, Obinna was patient, believing that with time, they would be blessed with a child. But as the years went by without a child, his patience began to fade away. People in the town started whispering again. Some said Chizoba was cursed. Others believed Adora's spirit was punishing her from the grave. Chizoba, who had once walked proudly through the town, now avoided people's eyes. But her greatest torment was not from the people. It was from her own conscience. At night, she could not sleep. She had nightmares where Adora appeared to her, staring at her with sorrowful eyes, whispering words she could not understand. Sometimes, she would wake up sweating, hearing Adora's voice calling her name in the wind. The weight of her crime became heavier and heavier, but she dared not confess. One fateful day, an old woman named Mama Ifoma, who had been close to Adora's family, fell very ill. As she lay on her deathbed, she called for Obinna and revealed a secret she had kept for years. On the night Adora died, Mama Ifoma said in a very low tone, "I saw Chizoba enter her room with a cup. I did not think much of it at the time, but now my heart tells me that something was not right." Obinna, shocked by the revelation, confronted Chizoba immediately. At first, she denied it, but when Obinna's anger grew, she broke down and confessed. "Yes," she cried, "I killed her. I poisoned Adora. I wanted you for myself. But look at me now. I have nothing. No child. No happiness. Only shame and suffering." Obinna was filled with anger. He could not believe that the woman he had married was the same person who killed the love of his life. He sent her out of his home and reported her to the elders. Chizoba was disgraced before the entire village. The people who once respected her now saw her as a wicked and heartless woman. She was banished from the village, forced to wander alone, unwanted and unloved. Chizoba lived the rest of her days in misery. No one wanted to associate with her. She had wealth once, but in the end, she lost everything. As for Obinna, he never remarried. He spent his days honoring Adora's memory, ensuring that her grave was always kept beautiful with fresh flowers. The story of Adora's betrayal is a lesson to everyone who trusted blindly without taking precautions. It is also a reminder that envy and wickedness never go unpunished. And so, justice was served, not by hands of men, but by the unseen forces that balance the world. Chizoba thought she had won by taking Adora's place, but in the end, she was punished. Her childlessness, disgrace, and suffering were proof that evil will always be repaid. Finally, friendship should be based on loyalty, not competition. True friendship is built on love, trust, and support, not secret competition and jealousy. Alright guys, this brings us to the end of the story of Adora and Chizoba. Please drop your comments and tell us what you think about the story. Don't forget to like and share this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe and also turn on the bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you. See you guys in my next video. Bye for now.